Morning guys, welcome back to another episode, and we are back on the hunt for some luderick. A little bit different today though, we've got some different bait to show off. A few bits a little different kit actually. Out here with the old boy, and we are in the boat. Got a nice looking drift out here in front of us. We'll roll the intro and get into it. So it is a pretty chilly winter's day, and that is the prime time to be chasing some luderick. Though you can get them year round as well, but they're definitely on the true hardest in winter when they're schooling up to spawn. So it's going to be very similar tactics and gear to the other luderick videos, but do have a new bait to show off for you, and this is the good old stringweed. I do believe there's a few, or at least a couple different varieties of it, but it all looks very similar. And most of the time in the estuaries, this is what they're going to prefer over the cabbage. But anyways, I'm a bit of a trickier bait to bait up as well on the hook, but I'm going to get onto that in a second. But what I'll do is I'll just show off the new reel that I'm using today too. And this is a Okuma Aventa BT1002. So this is a bit of an upgrade to the old LV Luderick Special. A proper center pin reel. Has been absolutely beautiful to use, and it is perfect for this situation where we're just letting our floats go back with the tide. So with how freely this spins, it's just very easy to let the float go back naturally. Anyways, I'm going to rig up, we'll get on to baiting up and we'll get fishing. Yeah. Might be one of those days where you can see them but can't hook them, but wherever. Oh yeah, no, they're eating. They're eating, Dad. Yeah. Well, guys, we've just had a change of spot. There was some young fellas cleaning up a bunch of fish there, and there was that many pelicans, and I figured it's probably scaring the blackfish off. So we've just gone for a cruise down towards the mouth. I got it covered, and just spotted absolutely hundreds of them. So these fish are probably schooled up. Jesus, Dad. He's going for the hook set of the century. These fish are schooled up to spawn, and it looks like they are hungry. So we could be on for an all-time session here. Just hoping there's some bigger fish mixed in, because this one, while it will be legal, is not absolutely huge. He might have to go back actually. But there you go, there's the first blackfish on board. I think I probably got the down on camera, but I wasn't looking. I was a bit distracted with all the fish. And Dad's onto one. Far out. I think we're going to be bagging out here. I'll give you a look at this little fella, and I guess we'll put him in the net. Because the beauty is these guys, well, you want to keep in a net until you're ready to clean them up. The old boy's on too. Yeah, you want to keep them in a net until you're ready to clean them, and they stay live in there, no worries. So if we want to upgrade, we can. Let's get the old boys in the net for him. Yeah, he's a little bit better.
You're not finished?
No. There you go and go. Check him on the surface there. Got him. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Right, I think we're gonna have a pretty damn good session here, Dad. Anyways, there's my little guy. He's definitely a keeper though, only need to be 27 centimeters. He's gonna be into the 30s, just. But we'll put him in the keeper bag and keep fishing. Well, there you go. 2 in the catch bag. Keep them in the drink, keep them alive. See if we can get a couple more. That was an absolutely huge school of them. And yeah, you can see them here. You guys probably can't see them, but they are all around the boat. This is unreal. And this is perfect because I've actually got something a little fancy to show you. We're going to get float cam happening before too long. Tell you what, we might just try and get a couple more on board before we go for that. Right, I got a bit ahead of myself here. I was going to show you how to bait up this stringweed. Well, yeah, I'll start afresh. So first off, what you want to do is just get yourself a nice strand of it by just pulling a section of it away. And that is a little bit thick. I'll be able to get I'll get rid of this messy bit at the end, chuck it down in the burley, which I'll show you what's going on there too. So basically you want to get a strand about yay big. That could be a little bit thinner. And it is a little bit finicky to bait up here. What I like to do is I'm going to grab the strand and double it over and basically just pinch either side of the hook bend like that. Next, I like to put a half hitch over the top of the weed, but making sure not to go over the eye of the hook, because that's just going to put a weak point in your line, and this line is already weak enough. I'm using 4 pound here. I just have found in these estuaries it's sometimes best to go very thin. They can be a bit leader shy. So now you've got half hitches over the top and then 2 strands coming down each side of the bend, and you're simply going to plait it on. So I'm going to take that bit and go that way over the hook, and then this bit and go that way over the hook. And I'm just going to continue doing that a couple times. So that first strand is going to go around the back of the hook and keep going that way, and this one's going to go around the back of the hook and go that way. And that's what you basically end up with. You've got that hook point right there, and the weed is plaited around the shank of the hook. Next, just break that off. That can go in for a bit of burley. And there is my bait. And when that hits the water, it kind of fluffs up and looks very natural. That's the way I learnt to do it, and it does the trick. Oh, there's a down. Sort of make sure it's staying down. Yep, there we go. And we're onto him. Beautiful. Where is he? Oh, he could be a little bit better. So yes, we're using this beautiful Akuma center pin reel. If you haven't seen a center pin before, there is no drag. If I let go of this, it's just going to spin free. So you just want to use the palm of your hand or your thumb just on the side of the spool there. And these are an absolutely beautiful reel for it. Very happy with it. Unfortunately, the guys at Boss Outdoor can't get these in. They don't stock the Akuma gear. The shop is only so big. Have an awesome range, and it is a very niche item. But the rod I'm using, they certainly do have. And this is a Daiwa Crossfire Surf, which is a light beach rod, but it works absolutely perfect for this style of fishing. And this is the 8-foot, let me just see here, 2.6 meters. I think it's about the 8.5 foot range. And we got these specifically for doing this kind of thing out of the boat, because your traditional Luderick rods are a little bit too long and cumbersome, and they are perfect for it. Not too long, and they're just the right right weight line class for tangling with these fish. There we go, another beautiful little Luderick. Absolutely love these fish, and delicious to eat. Anyways, we'll keep burleying up and keep them around. And so, just as with the cabbage weed, what I've got for the burley is I got some string weed, chopped it up fine with some scissors, and then added in a lot of sand, and then a little bit of seawater as well. You just want that mix to be a little bit damp, and that way it forms a bit of a ball when it hits the water and sinks down through the water column. And we're just going to keep putting in a little bit of burley often and keep this school around us here. I have heard a few people say they like actually just bringing sand with them, and whether they're used to people burleying up and there being weed in there, or just the sight of sand falling through the water column, they reckon just a bit of sand can do alright for burley. Oh, there's a down, staying down, and we're onto him. We're onto him. Just another smaller fish here. So much fun just watching a float bob along down in the current and watching it go under. So all up and down the coast, the New South Wales coast, into Victoria, into Queensland. During the winter, this is when the fish school up to spawn. And that's exactly what we're seeing in front of us. I've got the polarised lenses on, so I can see a good dozen fish here in front of me at the moment. And this, oh, just popped the hook. This could be an absolutely cracking session. Have a look at the size of this school here, guys. Not sure if that's showing up. Heaps of them. That way, they are all blackfish. There we go, that's down and into him. Ooh, could be a nicer one. No, you're right. Just if he starts cutting left, yeah, oh, you might want to wind him. No, it's alright for the moment. He's playing nice. Yeah, he's a bit better. Oh, here we go. We've got a double hook up for the boys. You beauty. I'm not going to lie, it's been a little bit of a learning curve coming from the Newcastle area to down here and finding these fish. They are still plentiful, but just have to weed through some dud spots. Right, here we go. He's about the same. I'll just try and turf him out on the deck. There we go, get ready for Dad's fish. Just give him a little bit of curry. There he is. Oh, lovely eating size. Oh, he's going for under the boat. There we go. Double hookups on the ludes, you beauty. Swallowed. Well, I've got hemostats there. the old boy was saying is, has swallowed the hook. This is what these are really handy for. Some little hemostats for getting down deep. If it is a struggle to get them out, it is best to just bite off the line or cut off the line, because you don't want them bleeding out and dying in your bag. You do want to keep them as fresh as possible before you fillet them up. If this is all a bit light on info, I would highly recommend you go and check out my other 2 video on Luderick, where I do go over the rig in a bit more detail than here. He's got the hook out with those hemostats, and there's another little lovely Luderick. That's a dolphin, isn't it?
Look at the fish.
Oh, you got one. No, it's a dolphin.
I got fish.
Oh, geez, it is all happening here. We've got a dolphin's come in to pick on the school. He got one, the old boy's got one. And I have just finished rigging up float cam. Here we go. Let's see if we can get some footage of Luderick on the chew. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not too keen to take the float under. I've tried to weight it as best as possible. I think there still is a little bit of resistance on the cam. Oh, look at this dolphin hunting. Oh, he's upside down. Oh, what? Are you kidding?
Wow.
He was juggling that Luderick up on his nose. That was nutso. Oh, I'm going to be very annoyed if he buggers off the school, but that was kind of worth it. That was incredible to watch.
These burleys are up there.
Right, float cam. Here we go. So, partial success with float cam here. Unfortunately, with the way I've rigged it and just a little bit of riffle on the surface of the water, it's knocking back and forth. So I've slowed the footage down to get a little clearer for you, but got a couple clips, and this will just be a teaser. I'll be back with float cam, hopefully with some better footage. Still some pretty cool shots that are going to come up here. I'll just point out the bottom we're fishing over as our first Luderick comes into frame. And we've got a weedy, sandy edge of a channel, and that's pretty prime territory for your estuary Luderick. But what came next was a bit of surprise looking back over this footage. I thought it was just a mega school of Luderick, but we've actually got some really good sized bream and also a lot of silver trevally mixed in with them. And I suspect that these fish are there snacking on the products of their Luderick spawn. Either that, or this area here is just where all these fish school up on the low tide, because to the right of where we've been fishing is a massive shallow bank with oyster racks and just weed all over it. And right now it's becoming too shallow for those fish to remain up there. But either way, some pretty cool stuff. There's a bunch of trevally coming through now, and some absolutely donkey bream mixed in there. And yeah, an absolute stack of Luderick. Here's our first one coming up to have a look at the bait. And unfortunately, with the foam of the camera, I've tried to make it as neutrally buoyant as possible, but I think there's still a little too much resistance there, because he has one little tug on it and goes, nah, that's not good enough. And I guess that goes to show just how important it is to have your float rigged right at that neutral buoyancy, easy for them to take down, especially in these still water environments. I did manage to hook a couple on float cam as well. Unfortunately, they popped the line down at the hook, and I do think it's a 3 ounce camera, so it's just something that they can kind of, their knocking head shakes. It was something for them to pull against and bust the line. But anyways, some pretty cool footage. I will be back with it. For now, I'm just going to let you enjoy it. Baited again, so I think that's going to be the end of float cam. I think it's nearly out of battery anyways, and I'm just keen to get onto a few more fish, so hopefully there's some cool footage there. And we might, if there is, we might bust it out again in the future. Might get 2 on the go. That way I can just have one out there and charge the other one and just have a full day of float cam. But see how the footage turns out. I'm just gonna get the regular rig happening again and get back out there. There's he down. Oh, come back up. Oh, now he's got it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. So he took it down once and then it came back up. I just had to wait for him to take it down again. And this is a better one. My best one of the day, I think. So we've just been a bit of a quiet period. It is the bottom of the tide. So what we did is we powered along under the electric motor and found the school again. So hopefully we can burley them up, keep them in front of us here. And so we've just been using the electric all day. I've got the spot lock on it and just being able to use it as our anchor. It is seagrass here, which it is a bit of a no-no to anchor up in. But if you're over sand, it is the way to do it. You definitely do want to be anchored and burleying up the fish. And yeah, he is my best one for sure. He's got me doing circles around the boat. You might have to watch out here, Dad. I'll see if I can bring him back this way. Yeah, he's playing ball. We'll bring him back down here, get him in the net. Come on. There we go. That's a better one. Beautiful. Still not a monster, but he's going to be getting close to that 40 centimetre mark. Barry's on the hunt. I think this school is mostly behind us, up in the really shallow water, only be about a metre deep in there, and I'd say they're up there having their spawn. You can just see a few of them tailing over there. But we're going to pack it in. It is time to go fill it up some fish. If you want to see how I like to do it, I do have a filleting guide at the end of one of my videos there. I think it's on the Harbour Luderick Tactics ones, but that's going to do it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed. It's been a very fun little session for me and the old boy. Anyways, we'll catch you in the next one.